Good morning, everybody. It's Friday in my element with Neil, and I'm your co-host, Turkey. All righty. Good morning. Good morning. Today we have a great show for Friday. We actually have a guest today, and this brother is one of the people like myself. We got the green thumbs. We like to grow, and I'm gonna bring him on now and introduce him, and we're gonna get this show cracking.
Good morning, brother.
Morning, Dave. Dave. All right. What's going on, brother?
I am good. It's a beautiful day today.
Yes, it is. Every day above ground is beautiful.
That's right.
Yep. So, Dave, tell us a bit about yourself, bruh.
Well, my name is David McClinton. I do business in the city of Chicago. I don't live directly in the city, but I own and operate a small wellness company called Three Energies Health and Wellness. And through that, I operate a chair massage booth out of Whole Foods in Lincoln Park. In addition to that, I'm a Tai Chi practitioner, Tai Chi and
Oh,
Qigong.
man. I got
Yeah,
to get your info.
yeah, man. That's the second energy. And the third energy is cannabis education. So the company basically, they say do what you love, and that's what I love: massage, Tai Chi, and cannabis education. So Neela is one of my clients there at the booth, and that is how I wound up speaking with you this morning.
Wow, cool. Morning, Karen. Um, I really got to trip you out for a minute here, Dave. You ain't gonna believe this. We sure got a lot in common.
Mm,
Um, I'm not a practitioner of Tai Chi, and I have osteoarthritis in both knees. And I've been going for the gel shots. It's a new procedure that they have to keep you from having to get the knee replacement.
sure.
So they inject the gel in there, and it allows your knees to produce its own cartilage again to, stop being on bone, and lessening your pain.
Hmm.
Well, my sister is a massage therapist,
Okay.
and that's what she does here. So on the Tai Chi, I've been trying to do it on my own. I got a lady that I follow on YouTube, and she's in Australia. And so I haven't seen anybody black doing Tai Chi on YouTube.
Mm.
So if you started a page, I'm pretty sure you'll get a whole lot of people following you, man, because I'll be the first one there, and can get you some more people to come on there, because I know quite a few people. We need to get our mobility back.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, I'm actually going to get my teaching certification this year. That's one of my uh, goals to achieve this year, is to get my Tai Chi teaching certification. And you're right, man. There is a lack of seeing us in practice the art.
Yep.
For the past 8 years, man, generally when I go to class, I'm the only brother in there.
Wow.
Maybe a sister here or there, but I'm the only brother in there, man. And um, Qigong is 5,000 years. Tai Chi is almost 2,000 years old. And it's very effective. And the way that I came about practicing was after a major health event. About 9 years ago, I had what's called an LAD heart attack, or a widowmaker. And I was fortunate enough to be able to get to the hospital, and they stabilized me. And the next morning, I had emergency triple bypass heart surgery. I had always had an interest in Tai Chi from the first time I had seen it back in the 80s, 70s. And I'm a project-oriented person. So I enjoy some kind of a project, and we'll get to the other projects in a few. But I decided to make me the project, and I was able to find, man, one of the best instructors that I could have. I couldn't have asked for a better instructor right here in my own backyard.
Wow.
And I was hooked after that. I was hooked. I would go anywhere to practice Tai Chi after that. Who's having a class? Okay, it's out in this suburb. I'll go out there. I'll see. So man, it's so beneficial, and I want to share that with others because I know how much it's helped me.
And the little that I've been doing, the way she breaks it down is incredible. Man, we're gonna have to have you on again.
Sure.
Because we need to have you on for 2 different shows. We got you on here for one thing, but it's so much that I personally need to ask you about Qigong and Tai Chi, and a lot of people think it's just the movements, that look like, you doing martial arts and stuff. And I know a lot of the movements are martial arts movements and part of the katas for martial arts, but it's a lot of breathing techniques. And it's a lot entails with that Tai Chi that, that they really don't tell you about.
Oh, absolutely, man. It is. You're right. It's a martial art, just as effective and deadly as any other. But it's also Tai Chi Chuan Chen Na is what it's called. Tai Chi Supreme Ultimate Chuan Fist. Chen Na, seize and control, seize and break. So I said all of that to say this, that as an art form, it's so bad that it has to be learned slowly in order to be able to use. It's that bad. And it takes years to develop the level of sensitivity and relaxation to actually apply it. So the emphasis is on health, but within that, one of the outstanding thing is the Qigong, the breathing exercises. That's what that phrase translates to, breathing exercises.
Okay.
So a simple exercise for anyone to do is deep breathing from the diaphragm. Breathe in through the nose 80% and out through the mouth 80%. Don't fill up completely, don't deplete completely. But breathe from the diaphragm the way a baby looks as it's sleeping. That's what you want to practice on, because it triggers the other systems in your body to do what they do naturally and more effectively.
See, that's what I mean. I need to know more about it because I've never even heard that explained on any of the programs that I've watched on Tai Chi. So we're going to have to get you on for another show, and we're going to just talk straight Tai Chi. But today I got to get you on this greenery, man. We got to talk on them green thumbs.
Yes, sir.
Yes, indeed. Yep. So I'm gonna let you start, man. We can go from germination techniques, to cloning, propagating, planting, however you want to start it, man. I'm gonna just give you the floor and let people put the questions in the chat. Morning, Yvette. How you? Karen Dickinson. Yep. So I'll just let you start, bro. I'm gonna let you, and if somebody pop a question in, I'll say excuse me for a second, Dave, and then I ask the question, and we'll keep it pushing so we can get as much information out there as possible.
Of course. Well, first thing I'd like to say about the art form of cultivating cannabis is it, just like Tai Chi and massage, is about balance. Probably your average viewer of your podcast is around the age that we are. So we're not kids, we're not looking to be stoned constantly, what we're looking for is balance. And as it pertains to cannabis, that's what you want to strive for as you're consuming it, however you decide to consume it. The bioavailability is what they would call it technically. Growing your own, for me, it's cathartic. You will find yourself sitting in front of your tent watching your plants grow because you can watch literally this plant grow. The different changes that come about so very quickly. It's a very cathartic and peaceful thing. It also gives you a greater appreciation and a more intimate knowledge of the plant itself. And that's something that you don't hear spoken of when you hear advertisements for cannabis and what have you. They always refer to this medical condition, that condition or another. But it's an art form. It'll save you a whole lot of money, that's for sure.
That's for sure.
And me personally, I did the whole contacting my legislators here in Illinois thing, filling out witness slips when different bills were coming to committee, and informing other people about filling out witness slips so that people's voices could be heard as it pertained to the illegality of cannabis. But I have never set foot in a dispensary and don't think I will. Because
I've been in one.
Yeah, I don't need
in Las Vegas.
For the novelty of it,
just for the experience. I wanted to see what all entailed in the experience. And Reef is one of the biggest dispensaries on the West Coast, and it is owned by powerful Caucasian brothers. We don't have but one black dispensary in the West Coast that's a company that actually grows and produces a product, and they're very small. Yep.
And therein lies my resentment of it. I didn't care anything about them being able to sell it legally because I already knew that there was a whole bunch of monkey wrenches in that game, and we would not benefit. When I hear of these big dispensaries doing this, that, and the other, I think about the first brother I ever bought some herb from over 40 years ago, Benji. And he wasn't trying to establish some kingdom or anything. He was doing what Rastafari says. The plant is not here to be pimped, it is here to sustain us. So he was supplementing or creating his own income, man. And what that war on drugs did to our community, we will never thank you. So yes, I'm resentful when I see these dispensaries and brothers and sisters are not in there making money. And they're dragging their feet on the legislation. So having said all that, growing your own, it's not a complicated thing, but there are techniques that need to be followed in order to be successful your first time out. And that's important. You want to succeed at whatever you're doing the first time out. Because as you know, gardening, botany, if you're a novice at something like that and it doesn't turn out well your first time, the squirrels just ate all my stuff. This didn't grow. It's easy to get discouraged and say, oh shoot, I'm not going to deal with that. So what I tried to do is steer people down a path that I took. I had to learn. I didn't have anyone to teach me.
I did too.
Right. You have to figure out, hey, well, do I need to buy this, that, and the other? And you wind up with a bunch of equipment that you ultimately didn't need. I want to make sure that people don't have to go through that. And I want to give people a roadmap so that you can produce your own herb is what I call it, at home. No pesticides, no nothing else.
Strictly organic.
Thank you. And you have the satisfaction of having done it yourself, and it'll be the best herb you ever had.
And Dave, like you said, man, watching that thing grow is spectacular. And I don't think people realize how beautiful cannabis is.
Beautiful.
And
Even
according to the
plant.
strain, oh my God, they got some beautiful stuff out here.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I try not to grow any type of hybrids, but we do have a lot of them, and some hybrids I like, some I don't care for. I really want to try to stay natural, and it's hard to get all natural organic seeds unless you're producing them yourself.
Absolutely.
So first, the first problem is being able to find a strain like Durban Poison or Hawaiian, you know, the original strains, Rudder Rails, and all of these different strains they have, you know, the sativas. You want to try to catch a sativa that's all natural, or indica that's all natural. And then they mix them with the Rudder Rails to make it grow fast and call it auto bud.
Right.
So soon as it's growing, you know, it's producing buds from day one. So that's one good thing I like about it. If you're in an area like where you're at, you could grow in the wintertime with auto and have a turnover every 90 days. A lot of people don't know that you could grow that fast.
Yeah.
Yep.
I myself, I prefer either a feminized seed or regular seeds, because right now I'm in the process of making my own seeds, and the product from that will be a different strain because they're two different strains that I've combined to make the seed. But it's not a stabilized strain. It's just something that I was able to produce at home, because now they want more than $200 for some of these seeds. For 10 seeds, you might have to pay $200 for a nice strain. You know,
Yep.
Jungle Boys, I have some Jungle Boys candy cake grown. $200, 10 seeds. So I take those 10 seeds, I get a couple of males from it, I grow the males, and then pollinate the females and make more seeds. So I'm not going to continue to spend money that I don't have to when I'm doing the process at home.
Do you ever make clones?
I play with it sometimes. I like to do mainlining on my plants, and a lot of the time clones, they'll grow a little funny, and you have to do further manipulation on the plant to get it to balance out.
Yeah.
So plus clones take up space that I might be using for something else, you know. But I mean, I'm not against them. You got any clones you want to give me?
I really haven't taken a chance and really having a serious grow because it's not legal here.
Oh, right.
And so it's me, my brother, and two sisters. We all stay in the same house. And so I don't have a space where I can do an indoor grow where I could really do something and hook me up a charcoal filter so that I could, you know, hide it and really grow something. So I was like, we ain't got much longer. They gonna flip it, you know, Mississippi, Alabama, everybody's flipped over there. So North Carolina and Georgia are pretty much the last guys in the South, you know, to hold stuff up. Texas, I think it's just Texas, Georgia, North Carolina, because it's legal in South Carolina. I don't know about Louisiana. I'm not sure. I think they still might be haven't turned it, you know, legal yet either. But we're getting there. They've signed legislation. You know, they just taking their time doing stuff. You know, they kind of put that stuff on the back burner here because, you know, they say this is the Bible Belt, but I don't know what Bible they be reading from, you know. But
well, you know what that boils down to. They're waiting to see
how they can get the money.
Right. And whether or not that money will outweigh the money of mass incarceration. That's what they're doing, trying to see where that balance is. They're looking at states like here in Illinois. Here in Illinois, legally, you can grow 4 plants if you have a medical card. No, I think it's 5 plants if you have a medical cannabis
per
card.
adult over 21, right?
Yes, per household. So you can't have 2 users in the crib and you're growing 10 plants.
Oh, I thought maybe you could do that.
No, 5 per household, if I understand it correctly. I haven't looked at that in a long time, but if I remember correctly. Now, as it pertains to the average Joe who doesn't have a medical marijuana card, anything over 4 plants is considered a felony. 4 plants or fewer is a misdemeanor akin to littering on the street. And if you're not growing herb and selling it out your back door, you shouldn't have a problem.
Yep.
And the other thing is the amount of space, the ergonomics that it takes to grow herb. You're not going to be able to grow enough herb in a house to warrant the selling it and trying to make money on it. You just don't have the space unless you got your whole crib lined with
You better have a whole basement.
Right. So this is about growing for personal consumption.
Yeah.
And what you'll find is just like you do when you have a garden, you grow, you harvest, you want to share it. And that's what you end up doing. Man, when I first started growing, I was giving people herb all the time. Check this out. I grew it.
Oh, wait a minute. The first time that I even realized it would grow, it was on accident. Because I was getting busted by my mom. I was in the backyard smoking a joint, and my mom was coming out of the door. And so I put it out, and I just pushed a hole in the flower bed and put the duck in it and closed it up and blew the smoke out, and was walking toward the garbage can. She like, "Where you going?" I was like, "Oh, I'm getting ready to fix this garbage back here that's falling out the can." And back then we had 55-gallon steel drums for garbage cans.
Yeah.
So I rolled it out of the way and, picked some stuff up off of the ground in the alley. And about, I would say it wasn't even a week, I see this little plant come up. I was like, whoa, what the hell is that? And it just was the 2 little round leaves that start off first. So I just left it alone. But it was in the flower bed, and I managed this flower bed for my mother. I had lilies and stuff growing in there, and I had them timed to where certain lilies would pop during the season. And so some of them need more heat to be activated. Some of them pop early in the spring. So I was messing with that. And when that plant started coming up, after it got to be about 2 feet, I was like, I can't hide this no more. I'm going to dig it up and move it somewhere. So I was trying to figure out, I had to find somewhere to grow it where it was going to be inconspicuous, because I didn't want anybody else to see it and know what it is and steal it. So we had a swimming pool in the backyard. So I had planted it on the backside of the swimming pool. And man, it got to be about 7 feet tall. I was like, oh, it's time for me to take this thing down, because it had grew. We had a 6-foot privacy fence. It grew once it grew over the top of that privacy fence. I didn't know back then I could have just stunted it and cut it at the node in the main shaft, the height of the fence, and it wouldn't have got no taller. It just got bushier. But that was my first plant. Like you say, I was novice. I didn't know what I was doing. I hadn't never been to school or anything for no classes or nothing. So I just went on and took it down. And I mean, it was some of the worst tasting stuff that I ever smoked in my life. I mean, it tastes like I was smoking the backyard grass. Because I didn't know nothing about no curing or hanging stuff to dry. I took all the leaves off of it and put it in the shoebox and let it dry and crushed it up and smoked. I'm like, oh Lord.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, but you know, you go on and you learn. Hey, Sherry Blair, what's going on? Frugal, good morning. We talking cannabis this morning. We got Dave on this morning, and he's a grower and a lot of other things. We're gonna have him on again for the Tai Chi and all of that. But today we're talking medicinal herbs and herbs for balance and herbs for clearing your mind. A lot of people don't know different strains have different effects on you. You know, a lot of people think that all they want to do is just smoke weed and get the couch locked and lay back and eat something and watch TV. But I noticed a lot of sativa strains energize you, especially your creativity.
Sure. Sativa is more a head high, and indica is more a body high. Right now, if you buy herb from your herb person or you go to a dispensary, what you're getting is a hybrid. And a lot of the time, these different strains may have a lineage that include 40 or 50 other strains to come out to the one you just bought. It takes a long time and a big investment to actually be able to stabilize cannabis so that you repeat the result each time. Each time you're going to get that strain that tastes the same and acts the same. The term medical marijuana is kind of an oxymoron in the sense that even if you're smoking herb for fun, I'm up at 4 by 4:30, I'm telling myself jokes, I'm having fun, you're still getting the medicinal benefit. Mm-hmm. So that term medicinal marijuana is there as a marketing tool more than anything.
I think it's to knock the stigma off, Dave, because
absolutely.
What is it? Like Nilla say, don't roll no joint on the screen. And I was like, T, if it's legal, why would you think it's okay for somebody to have a drink in front of a child? But then you don't want them to see you rolling a joint. I ain't saying, you should smoke in front of your kids. But I mean, you drink alcohol in front of them with no problem. And then what's that do? Influence the child to want to drink alcohol.
It's hypocrisy, and we've always known it to be. Herb comes with its own set of identifiers, shall we say. If somebody's smoking some herb, you know it. And you can know it from a block away.
Yeah.
But again, no matter whether you're smoking it for a particular ailment or condition or because your favorite movie is on and you want to giggle, you're still receiving the medical benefits of the plant itself. And for the past few years, they've been pushing CBD, CBD, CBD. CBD is one compound in that plant, and there are hundreds.
Yep.
And what you actually need in order to benefit from the plant itself is what's called the entourage effect, where you need the combination of all of the compounds working within your endocrine system. You have more than one receptor in your endocrine system. So you need the entirety of the compounds in it to attach to the receptors in the entirety of your endocrine system in order for that endocrine system to send the good hormones to the brain. So when one is on, such as adrenaline and the other one on the tip of my tongue, such as adrenaline, when your endocrine system is sending all of that to your brain, because for the past 6 years, we've all been with the pedal to the metal with stress, then the good hormones are shut off. Again, it's balance, yin and yang, on and off. So what you want to happen is for the opposite to happen. The good ones to turn on and the bad ones to shut off. And that can be done through the consumption of cannabis.
So that's like when you say the chemicals that come through your body through your endocrine system, that's like DMT.
DMT.
DMT is a chemical that sends the endorphins to your brain for certain signals for pleasure, for sleep,
Sure.
all of the different bodily functions. Like I know melanin is a heavy contributor of the flow of the electrical system for your body through your nervous system. You know, whether white folks believe it or not, they have a melanin in their bodies too. You can't exist without it.
Sure.
And it's part of a system that can be manipulated with medical marijuana to help you produce more of that chemical in your body. And when you're using what I call clean marijuana, which is a strain that's a pure strain, you know, like a Hawaiian strain or a Thai strain or Durban poison. And Durban poison is an African strain that's used, and like you say, just about every strain that there is out there, or the hybrids anyway.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah. Good morning, Neela.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us back to In My Element with Neela and Turk, and our calming touch guest, David. David, thank you so much for joining us. You all, I just got to give you guys a little insight, though, something that they probably didn't even know about. We're here talking about cannabis and the medicinal purposes and all that good stuff and growth and all the other things. But David, the reason his title says Calming Touch 44 is because he is a masseuse.
Massage therapist.
A masseuse is different than a massage therapist, T. And we've been talking about that too.
Okay, he's a massage therapist then. That's what he wants.
Yeah, if you're a masseuse, you can give a happy ending. Massage therapists don't do that.
Okay. Massage therapist. Well, he gives a happy ending. I'm sorry. He does give a happy ending.
T, the happy endings is
that's a whole
the happy ending we talking about ain't when you finish and
you expect relax. You're gonna leave feeling happy once you get one of them massages. Trust me. His hands make you melt. You be like,
oh. Thank you.
That's every massage. Whenever you get a real massage, you should. These are the symptoms. You're gonna sleep. You're gonna use the bathroom, and you're gonna be so relaxed to the point it's gonna feel like you're intoxicated.
Exactly.
That's a real massage.
You're gonna be like, whoa.
And if he's doing that and if he's doing all of that just through chair massage, I know what he do on a full body.
Oh no, I can't do those. You know what? I've never thought I was very good at it, and also doing table work is hard on my body.
Oh, okay.
Plus, I knew even in school, it's a lot easier for me to get you to become a client if all I'm asking you to do is sit down.
Yeah.
But if I have to ask you to take off your clothes and come in this little dark room with me, now you know you're not as receptive. So I always focused on the chair.
I don't know. I ain't never had no problem with taking off my clothes and going to a little dark room. Especially
sure.
I was gonna get on the table.
But Turk may. So
right.
That way,
look, it's according who the masseuse is.
Yes.
Because if I come in a little dark room, I don't want a massage therapist. I want a masseuse.
See, there
no,
you go.
I'm just being silly this morning.
I know. But thank you, Neela.
Unfortunately, I got to go back to work. We had an earlier meeting this morning. Just threw me totally off. I kept getting all these pings on my phone. I'm like, what the hell? So I finally looked, and I'm like, you supposed to be in a meeting, and I was trying to figure out what. And I'm going through my phone because I don't have my company phone on stuff on here. I don't have a company phone. This is my personal phone. So they pinging me through my text messages. My team lead talking about, you supposed to be in a meeting. I said, a meeting where? He said, we online waiting on you. I said, I'll be damn. Here I go.
And he should have shot you an email or something. I don't know.
Because my email is not, my work email is not on my personal phone. They do not let you put stuff like that. You know, that's against the law.
Oh, okay.
That's a good lawsuit that they're now starting to avoid. So yeah, it's a lot going on with that. But I am sitting here watching her. I know she's going to come on. My team lead, the vice president, and the director are here. So,
but all right, well, you go ahead on then.
Look, hold on. I told them I got a couple of things I need to do. Hold on. I got to go check my show. So they understand. But I wanted to come in and say thank you so much, David, for joining us this morning and enlightening us with your understanding and your knowledge on marijuana, cannabis, hemp.
We've been talking about Tai Chi and a lot of other stuff, T. We're going to have him back on the show, and we're going to just talk Qigong and Tai Chi and the Dao Chi Ming, Dao Se Tong, or however you say it. We're going to get into that martial art.
You know what? That would be a great show because I have a cousin who's been doing Tai Chi for a long time, and he's one of the seniors. Let me put it this way: he's one of the elders with the Muntu African dance troupe, and they've been in operation for over 40 years. So that would really be a great show. I'm gonna see. You know, the one who was playing the conga. Yeah, and blowing the flute. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get him on the show at that time as well. That would be, that would be an awesome. That's gonna be. I'm gonna stay off the backside. I just want to be an introducer, and I'm gonna stay on the backside. It's gonna be all you kings that's gonna be on the screen, giving us all that wonderful information and knowledge and wisdom, passing out all that wisdom. That's gonna be a great show. So I can't wait for that to take place. Well, in the meantime, Jonathan, Wellness, Sharice, Yvette, Karen, Alma, all you all, thank you so much for joining us. Please share this. Someone out there does need to hear this. And don't forget to reach back and give back, okay?
That's your boss. T, get your butt back up.
Good morning.
Good morning. I don't hear anybody.
I muted myself. I was trying to mute Neela.
I saw.
She took herself out though, so we good.
Yeah, man. But you know, like I said, as far as home cultivation, and that's what I, focus on. I got a couple of certifications, nothing like on the level of what you have, sir. But I did take the time.
But that wasn't for cannabis. And it's a big difference in knowing how to grow cannabis and knowing how to grow flowers and trees.
You're right.
It's not the same.
You're absolutely right. So yeah, it is a distinctive kind of horticulture. And what I aim to do is to simplify it so that people can cultivate at home. And you're not left to the fluctuation in prices. You're not left to the inherent danger that comes with, and it has always been with, the acquisition of it. You can do it at your crib.
Yeah. Without a doubt. As a matter of fact, I want to take my computer outside, and I want you to take a little peek at what I'm doing here.
Okay.
It ain't nothing like what you're doing. Excuse me, Big Win, because it ain't legal here yet. But I dabbled, just to play with it. And that's what I'm doing so far.
Oh, look at that. That's beautiful.
So that's the Bruce Banner strain.
Oh, yeah.
And we were supposed to be moving. Usually this time of year, my plants is like 6 to 7 feet tall. But I got a late start. I was like, because the house we wanted, somebody outbidded us for it. And so wasn't nothing that we could do about it, but start and try to find another one. And this is another one that I've just put that in the dirt.
Cute as a button.
Yep.
Cute as a button.
Yep. But that ain't a bad looking plant.
No, it's not. And the thing that I want people to remember is Turk is growing outdoors. So plants can get to be 6, 7, 8 feet tall. But you don't have that worry when you're growing indoors because there are techniques to keep your plant short and keep your grow ergonomical and so that you can actually manage it. Because if you just let an herb plant just grow naturally, ooh, that joker becomes feed me Seymour time sometime.
Wait a
So
minute. They got a strain that I was looking at because they're supposed to legalize it here this year.
mhm.
So next year I'm gonna be ready.
Mm.
And I'm gonna have my seeds and stuff already. And I was looking at some strain, but they have a strain from Laos in Vietnam that gets up to 25 feet tall. And you can get up to 8 pounds off of one plant. So if they tell me, okay, well, you can't grow but 3 plants, I'm gonna grow 3 plants that's so big that I'll have like 25 to 30 pounds of weed off of 3 plants.
Watch that because here in Illinois they address that, and
they do.
Yep, there's size and height limits.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see, they're very crafty about it. They're very crafty. Hence the stealth grow that I do. You know, again, it's 4 plants and fewer as a misdemeanor. I never grow more than 4 plants.
Mm-hmm.
I don't sell it to anybody, you know. But yeah, they like I said, they're watching other states to see what they do. And Illinois has one of the predominant blueprints for that legislation here in the United States. Everybody's watching.
Does Illinois have different rules for different counties?
No, as a state, cannabis is legal. Different cities, and what they have is restrictions on where you can open a dispensary.
Okay,
that's what they have. You can't go to a dispensary in every town or every village. You know, some of them said no, we don't want that. They actually had referendums on that exact subject. But in the state, cannabis is legal.
Okay. Because I know I follow a guy from Illinois, and it's actually a group called the Illinois Cannabis Growers Group. And he's on YouTube, and he's definitely growing more than 4 plants, and he's got to be legal because he's putting it on YouTube. You know, and I don't know if he's got some kind of special licensing to grow and propagate the way he is, but he's got an outdoor and an indoor grow. Yep.
There is designation in the type of growers that there are. He may have a license that's called, he's a craft grower. There's licensure for that. And you're allotted a specific amount of space that maxes out that you can grow herb in.
Okay.
Those licenses are few and far between, and they're very expensive.
And you probably have to have the right complexion for the connection.
Yes. It was designed for exactly that reason.
Yep.
You know, there are a lot of people who won the quote unquote cannabis lottery, and they were awarded the licensure to open dispensaries. But the big boys who have an infinite amount of money because people keep going to the dispensaries and spending money with them are fighting a lawsuit trying to keep the small business out.
Yeah.
They want to just dominate the market.
Yeah.
There's only 3 major companies out there. So what happens is, even though you might have a collective that has come up with the necessary fees for licensure, which was starting at $250,000, who might have acquired warehousing or a dispensary space. They've had it hung up in the courts for the past 2 years, and a lot of these people just don't have the financial backing to weather that storm.
That's what my cousin is telling me is happening right now, and he said they're dragging it out on purpose.
Yes, continuation after continuation, and they're dragging it out so that people like you and I don't get these licenses and are able to open dispensaries.
Yep.
That's why this brother won't be going in there. Not to mention, I don't need you.
I'm not going in it either.
Right. I just don't need you. Now, if a brother or a sister is doing that thing, hey, look, I can dig going in there and copping something, you know, but overall, no. I just don't need them. So again, I like to emphasize the home cultivation, and the average person wouldn't be growing in anything other than a 4x2 tent, maybe a 4x4 if you have that kind of space. But the equipment is not expensive, and the technology in the fans that you need and the lighting has advanced so much over the past few years that some very, very professional lighting is now affordable. So anybody that might be interested can always get in touch with Nilo or you, Turk, and you can put me in contact with them, and we can get it happening for them.
And you can go to calmandtouch44@yahoo.com and leave this brother a message.
Absolutely.
And let him know that you're interested.
Please do. I look forward to it.
And so if anybody in the chat has any questions, feel free to put them in there. We'll have Dave answering questions, and we still got I'm going to probably stay on a few minutes extra today because, you know, this is a subject that I enjoy.
And that's why I'm so chatty. You know, it's the passion, man, you know.
It is.
Because I'm not a chatty man, but when it's something passionate like this, I can be a little chatty. So I want to apologize for that.
So Dave, can you show us an example of some of your growing?
The lights just came on. Because there's a purple hue to these lights, I'm not sure how this will show. But
man, that is beautiful. Look at the nugs on that thing.
And they're young.
What strain is that?
I have in this tent some Skittles, some Gaslight, and my favorite, Aurora Indica.
Yes, indeed.
So those are my 4 plants.
And as everybody can see, 4 plants is more than enough for you to sustain yourself for a good minute. But the key in this weed, though, is you better know how to cure it, because you can ruin a very good plant if you don't know how to cure it.
Yes, you can.
Can you give us some tips on curing, Dave?
Sure. Curing begins with drying. Once you harvest your plant and you remove the larger fan leaves.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Hello, how can I be helping you this morning, please? Hello? Yes, who's calling? What is this call pertaining to? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I thought you were one of them crazy folks calling, so I always do that. Yep, but Yep. You know what? I'm on the clock right now. I can't talk. So I have your. Can I call you back at this number? Okay, no. Thank you. That was a real phone call.
That was downright funny.
But you know, when I do that, a lot of time they just hang up, clunk, and then they don't even call back from that number. They'll try it from another number, and then I just keep doing it.
Sure.
Morning, Special Brew. Yes, this is on recreation. Yes, recreational cannabis use is legal in Illinois, JB. All uses of it. Yep. The only places that haven't relinquished the laws yet is Texas, Georgia, North Carolina, and that's pretty much all that I can think of, because everybody out west, everybody toward the east, like Maine and Wisconsin, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, all of those states, Illinois, Indiana. I don't know about Indiana. Are they legal yet? Yes, I think Indiana is. Yeah, they are.
I think.
Yeah, they are, because my cousin, he goes there to get Delta 10 and actually picks up cannabis for itself.
You know, the trick to it also is legalization isn't equal everywhere, in the sense that some states have only legalized medicinal use, and other states have legalized recreational also.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, again, growing in a small space, you're not growing a lot of herb. You know, the average grow indoors in a tent, you're probably going to end up with maybe 2 ounces per plant if you're lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of the ergonomics of it.
Yeah.
You know, again, unless you've got a basement dedicated to growing herb, which I don't think you want to do.
And then you got to have pots that are big enough for the root system, you know, to grow a sizable, you know, plant.
Generally, it's like for indoor grow, you'll get a foot per gallon of volume in a pot.
Okay.
So if you have a 3-gallon fabric pot, that plant can easily grow 3+ feet. The space will support that root system.
Okay.
But again, this is about keeping it simple, using simple, basic practices for growing cannabis. And one of the things that is tricky about it is knowing the nutrients that it needs when that plant calls for.
That's the key.
That's the key.
And seeing the signs in the leaves and the plant to know which one that it needs.
Exactly. And after a period of time, I've made the mistakes and had the issues, so that, again, I'm able to give a roadmap for success as it pertains to cultivating this in the home. Because you will run into these little things. Why are my leaves turning yellow with brown splotches in it? Oh, well, what's the distance of your light? Are the leaves curling upward or downward? The tips look a little brown. What's that about? So all of these different things, man,
clues.
If you don't have, you know, right. If you don't know, you don't know.
Okay, so a lot of people see yellowing in the leaves and won't know what it is, and they can say, "Well, I'm overwatering." Overwatering discolor the leaves and stuff at the bottom as well, because you're drowning the root system. But there's other things that yellow it that almost mock the same thing. So it's little idiosyncrasies that you had to know about looking at their leaves to diagnose. You're almost like a plant doctor.
Yeah, absolutely.
It gets deep.
Absolutely.
Let me comment on what JB is putting on here. He says medical marijuana is legal in Maryland. Recreational U.S. is still illegal. There is questions on the ballot to legalize it in November. So I believe they're going to push that through, man, because they want money.
They want the money, and that has been the progression of things since they started legalizing in particular states. Generally, it goes from a germ of an idea to a signature or a referendum situation where they put it on the ballot. If they want to stretch it out, they'll put it a referendum. What do the citizens think? Any other time, they don't give a darn about what we think.
Sure don't. They don't ask no other time.
Right. So that gives the individuals that have the financial backing, who have the clout and the power, the time that it takes to position themselves within the industry to dominate it. And what you're going to see is the big boys like Curaleaf and I forget the names of the others because I just got a problem with them. But what you're going to see is big tobacco is going to buy them out. And pretty soon the same folks that make cools are going to be making your herb.
Yep. You already know. They got the space for it.
Thank you. The technology and the long paper.
And the equipment.
Yes.
The chemicals. Everything.
Everything.
Now, but one thing about this, Dave, it ain't going to be organic. It's not going to be natural.
Well, no.
It's going to be just like the cigarettes. They're going to add all kind of stuff to it because it's about speed and their growth because they money.
Let me tell you one of my new favorite words. Scromating. Do you know what scromating is?
No.
That's a hell of a word, isn't it?
Yeah.
Scromating means scream vomiting. This is one of the conditions that they're seeing these kids end up with in the emergency rooms. And it comes from a basic overload of the compounds in cannabis. But again, they took what should have been, as you said, natural, the plant, and they extracted the THC from it using butane. And then they produced these substances called shatter and dabs and this, that, and the other. These little crinkly almost look like peanut brittle, but
I've seen it.
Right. Man, these things are 90+% THC. And then these young kids will be kids. They sit up and rip bong hits of this stuff, and now they're dealing with psychosis.
And that's not meant to be smoked like that.
Thank you. It's unnatural. So scromating is one of the symptoms that presents where they rush them to the hospital and they scream while they're vomiting. And that just cracks me up.
Wow. That's crazy. I've never heard of that before.
Scromating. So
I've actually had glass and shatter when I was in Las Vegas. Because my son-in-law, he's like, Pop, he was like, you can't hit this like it's hash.
See,
because that shatter, you smoke it like you do dab. You have to have a pipe that you heat the bowl, and then you put the little dab on there, and then as soon as it hits it, then you just inhale and it pulls the smoke down. You don't put fire on it. You heat the bowl and put it on there. And that talk about strong. I was gone, bro. I was laid out.
See,
it's like overdoing it with an edible.
Yes, it is. And yes, it is. So if you're doing 90% THC, why don't you just save yourself some time and just start shooting smack? Now,
same effect.
Thank you. Psychosis and all the rest that comes along with it. So what you need, so I said that to say this. Cannabis education is needed so that grandma doesn't end up stuck to the floor.
Yeah.
Don't give grandma this strain that's almost 30% THC. She doesn't need that unless she wants that, unless grandma got some experience, then go on and get on down, grandma. But for the most part, and what I'm saying is, again, it comes back to balance. We're not children. We're not trying to see how high we can get. We're trying to balance out and keep a balance. So again, home cultivation, will help you achieve that balance within the school of thought of cannabis.
That's for sure. And we actually need to, the states where it's legal, they need to start educating the kids. You know, as far as like, don't just run and grab something and start eating it. You know, because a lot of these teenagers think that you just take an edible and you go eat the whole thing. Oh, it tastes delicious, and eat a whole brownie. And now they sitting over in the corner, paranoid, you know,
I beg
having
to
a bad experience.
I beg to differ because of this reason. It's kids who are creating shatter and dabs and this, that, and the other. It's kids who are educating the older people on this herb thing. Older folk like you and I wouldn't have had one day's thought about making some shatter. But these kids get to, come on, we were kids. We know how kids are. These kids get together and they do too much, you know? So it's not even necessarily that the substance itself is bad. It's how it's taken in, you know?
Well, you know, if it can put you in that state of mind, it can be used medicinally in the hospitals.
Of course. Of course.
And it's according to how strong they make it.
Exactly. And the intended purpose.
Yes.
So yeah, man, it's again, it's about balance. Balance. Brother Turk, the clock on the wall says it's time for me to move on out. I gotta do some yard work here before it starts raining on me.
All right. Well, hey, Dave, I appreciate you coming on. I hope everybody enjoyed this, and we're gonna have this brother on again, and we'll probably talk cannabis another time. But the next time he's on, we got to talk Tai Chi.
Absolutely, I look forward to it. Thank you, Neela, for having me.
Thank you for coming on board with us this morning. I really am appreciative of you. And you know, when are you back in the store?
Sunday.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna try to make it out there Sunday if I can. If not, because I got a lot of stuff I got to get done before I
shoot me a text instead of calling.
I certainly will. But otherwise, thank you so much, David. Everybody, this is David. Once again, if you all are in the Chicago area, check him out at the Whole Foods on North Avenue and Fremont, where you can get a chair massage. And let me tell you, it goes all the way down to your legs and stuff. Okay. I just want y'all to know that you might not be on a bed, but that bend over facing that holder chair massage is off the chain. When you finish, drink plenty of water, get you some rest. You're going to feel it, but your body's going to thank you.
Right on. Thank you.
God bless you. Have a great rest of your day too.
All right. Right on, Turk.
All right, Dave, take care, man. I'm going to be in touch because me and you got to bump heads and swap some ideas and stuff.
We got to talk shop. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Y'all be good.
Pleasure meeting you. Take care.
Right. Peace.
All right. Bless up.
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us this morning and staying on board with us. Do share this if you guys have it right now, because someone out there does need to hear what was being said. I am going to go ahead on and tell you guys, I'm going to reach back and give back, because somebody out there needs your smile. Somebody needs to hear some kind words from you. Somebody might need a bottle of water, maybe a joint. And if you are a person that has a little bud or something, maybe you might want to give a person one little bud or something. They might really need it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But keep it moving, and God loves you, God loves me, God loves everybody. So won't we join in on loving ourselves a lot more so that we can love everybody too? And once again, love, peace, soul, and hair grease. And if your scalp is itching, please wash your head before you condition.
And put some grease in it.
That's what I'm talking about.
It'll make it shine.
Uh-huh. How you doing?
And I don't use none of the Caucasian products. I use not mousse and all of that stuff. Get you some real grease.
Get some real grease.
It's all right if it make your hair heavy. It's hot outside. You ain't blow drying it and all that anyway.
Right. God bless y'all. Y'all enjoy your day and tie your hair up if you gonna let the wind take it away. I see y'all. What? Monday morning, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time on what? In my element with who? Me and who? Turk. And he's gonna be with you Monday if I can't make it with you Monday.
Yeah, and I might have a guest Monday. So
all right, we talking about
we'll see what's happening.
Please join us Monday anyway, just because. God bless y'all. Make sure you click those thumbs up so that we can get that algorithm going. And we'll see you Monday morning. Have a great rest of your weekend.
All right, y'all.
Have a great day, y'all. Bye-bye.
Peace. Have a good weekend. Be safe. Watch your surroundings everywhere you go.
Yep. No,
I ain't saying be paranoid. But be alert. Pay attention.
Nobody's neighborhood is exempt. Remember that. God bless. Peace out.